Welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Rjuempire of Rjuempire. Today is Friday, May 15, 2020. I'm gonna share about the the current economic system and the way we're going forward. It is quite inevitable as you observe and see that we're moving forward to a new monetary system. And throughout history, it has been observed that time after time, there's always a shift to a new economic system. Like if we go back through history, we started our monetary system like in a free market system. We use, for example, a specific instrument like from the start we had a barter trade, and then people agree on a certain commodity like gold, silver, or even copper and some coffee beans even. Now, for the past over 100 years, initially our money is backed by gold, and then 1913 it was agreed by the authorities that we're going to adopt a fiat money system. But initially it was backed by gold during that time until we just moved fast forward from 1913 to 1971 when President Richard Nixon of the USA had removed the backing of the gold standard on all fiat currency on the US paper money, I mean. So basically, from that point, that allows the US dollar to become the standard or the gold standard among currencies or paper money, fiat currency. And it allows the other countries to basically peg or base their money against the US dollar. And that's actually the birth of the Forex exchange, August 1971. One way or another, it helps because it drives inflation, and inflation is like a two-edged sword. So it can either make you or break you. For example, if you're a businessman and you accumulate assets, so over time, for example, the inflation rate is 2% a year. So in simpler terms, the inflation causes the price of a certain commodity to increase by 2% year after year, compounded, as what let me quote Albert Einstein said, that the inflation, or basically the compounding interest, is the eighth wonder of the world. Why is this so? Because it causes a particular item to increase over time. Let's go back to the example I mentioned. A company, for example, accumulates assets like gold, silver, real estate, stocks, mutual funds, and other assets. So through inflation, it helps build up the value of their properties. On the other hand, if you are a consumer like majority of the people of the world, the the consumers, their money is being or their purchasing power is diminished over time because of inflation. Because, for example, a certain product like rice, corn, milk, or basic commodities increases over time. So their $1,000 can buy only this much over time. So their purchasing power is being diminished. So that's where they get hit with inflation. In worst case, if they don't have assets being accumulated, so that's the reason why basically what happened is those who are well off or rich had the opportunity to accumulate assets over time, became richer through inflation. The other hand, the other side of the spectrum, the middle class or those the unfortunate side of the society, the poor, gets poorer because of the impact of inflation. So that's what I mean of inflation being a two-edged sword. Because the difference is really, if you take a look at it, the difference is really financial education or the wisdom that those well-off or rich people had grasped. They understood the economics of money, the monetary system. If only we can teach this to as many people as we can, and they understand the economic system, and they can participate in this inflation-driven society. And now, in this current system, it's, as I said in the start, that it's inevitable that we're going to shift to a new monetary system. And in my opinion, we are leaning towards the cryptocurrency or the digital asset, digital currency, I mean. So, based on what I gathered over the past months and my own research, and I also urge you to do your own research, do your own due diligence before doing any investment or putting any money. So all investments always bear a certain kind of risk, or even in life. Every day we woke up, there's always a risk. When we go out of home, there's always a risk. So every action we take always had a considerable amount of risk. Now, we are going to shift to a digital currency. It is comparable to before there was a gold standard, and that's the first layer. And on top of that, the society had created the fiat money or the dollar, and next layer will be the individual countries' currencies. So, in my opinion, now we're having this digital gold or the Bitcoin, which is comparable to gold. And the Bitcoin as digital gold will be the base for this digital currency, and it's basically the first layer. And it will be the standard for creating new digital currencies for each country. For example, on top of the Bitcoin will be, if for example the US nation will create their own digital currency for their country, or the US dollar digital currency. So it will be based on this cryptocurrency, or whatever. So it's basically being backed by this cryptocurrency, and the other countries will follow suit. And it is more convenient to have digital currency rather than having the paper money in your wallet. So you can see the shift from the start. We had a barter system. Then we use gold, silver as payment, which is very bulky. And then we use paper money. And in the early 80s or 90s, we use the card, the credit card, the debit card, and the wire transfers. Now, the most convenient one would be to use our mobile phones, which had a QR code, and that's the way we are going forward, because majority, or if not all, people in the world have mobile phones. So that's basically what triggers for people to do research, that why not use it for the digital currency payment, which is way more convenient than doing wire transfer. Sometimes it's more costly and takes more time. Whereas if we do digital payments, it's just even split seconds. So that's my opinion, that's my idea. I think that's where we are moving ahead in the coming years, decades, or even in the coming months. So it's the evolution, and the only constant in life is change. And people who don't embrace change will be affected, or cannot adapt to this change or this new evolution. So our society keeps on evolving. It's just like how we evolve as a human species over time, when we started from those people who are like from the caveman, and then due to the needs, they build buildings, houses. So it's really whatever is the need, then the supply arises. I think that's all for now. That's my thoughts that I can share for now. Once again, this is Rjuempire Ugan. I'm gonna see you again in my next videos, sharing my ideas and opinions. Bye bye.